What is wrong with this thing?
All right. What is up, everybody? What is up? Welcome to Let's Talk Games Podcast, episode 7. I am the host, Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I got my co-host, Notorious DRE.
What up? What's up, chat? How y'all feeling?
What's up? Make sure you got...
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, make sure you guys hit the like button, the share button, get people in here. We ain't gonna be in here too long, so the quicker
Hopefully
y'all can
not.
come in here, the better, man. But
Yes.
Dre, man, how was your week, man? How was your week?
It's doing pretty good, man. Man, what a week, man. And for gaming, man. For PlayStation, I say that. What a week.
Oh yeah.
But it's been good. It's been comical, man, to say the least, man. But it's been good, man. How about yourself?
Man, yeah, it's been a lot, you know, a lot of crow, just a lot of things to talk about. Very colorful week we had in regards to, you know, gaming, certain platforms. But yeah, we definitely going to jump into it. So as always, you know, we start off with some of the things I know you just completed a game on Twitter. I see you post your pretty much your end credits to Concrete Genie, was it?
Concrete Genie.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I started a game, I dropped it, but I want to since you got to finish it and you said the message is more so what spoke to you. Tell me about this game and what some of us could expect for those who haven't really touched it.
So I mean, basically, it's about a kid who gets a so it's like he lives in a town, or like the town next to him used to be a booming town, like with life and all that stuff. But then like things happen, and you know the town kind of dies out, so to speak. And so you meet this genie. That's what the little picture creatures, I guess you can call them. They're called genies, though. So you meet this genie, then who gives you a paintbrush to paint the town and bring it back to life. And so like while you're doing that, you have these bullies, right, who don't like you for really no apparent reason. Yeah. It kind of like explains their back. Well, not kind of. It explains their backstory. Not necessarily of why they don't like you, but why they are the way they are in terms of like internal, like why, basically like an internal thing that makes them bullies, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, basically you just painting the town and trying to bring it back to life. And yeah, but like so it's like the message really stuck with me because it's about like bullying and coming over like your fears of bullies and stuff like that. I'm not gonna spoil the game, but like towards the end, it kind of comes full circle. But so like the cool thing, well, obviously you got the paintbrush and you're painting, and at first I was thinking like this game was made for like the artistic people.
Yeah.
But it's like really anybody. It's like a pick up and play, right? And so like I know like when I did my paintings, like I would just throw shit on the wall, right? And then I step back and be like, damn, that like you could just put anything on there from your art book, and like at first it'll look super weird, but then like if you step back, it kind of like looks kind of cool, like this abstract type of image.
Yeah.
But it's really good. I like I said, I just like the message of the game of how they handle with bullying. That's one thing I'm kind of big on is bullies and stuff like that. But it's a really good game, man. I think it's free, so check it out.
Yeah.
If you haven't. But it's a really, really good game. Really, and right now I'm like just trying to clean up stuff to get the platinum right now. So it's a really good game.
Yeah, I downloaded it when it went into PlayStation Plus. I started it and I was like, and I think we spoke about this before in a couple episodes. I was like, the game, I like something about the game I like, but the thing I don't like is, and I think it's the main part of the game, is how I have to paint, because I don't like I don't like motion controls and I don't know if it uses.
You can't switch that to the right thumbstick.
To the right thumbstick, you can. Okay. All right. Yep. Then
I didn't like the motion controls either.
That shit was driving me nuts. But the game. But I was getting a cool Disney Pixar vibe. A nice little story that they were putting together. So I'm definitely gonna pick it back up for sure. The genie that you meet, isn't the genies in the game is like the characters he make? Aren't there like from his art and they just come alive or something like that?
Come alive.
Yeah.
Yep, correct.
Gotcha.
So it's really cool. Like I've been saying, the message is just really, really dope to me. So yeah, check it out. It's free on PlayStation Plus, and it's a really good game. I like it a lot, and it's only like 4 hours long. It's not a long game at all.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's really cool.
All right, so I'm gonna try to go just tell you what I've been playing. So I have to go into my profile, see what I recently unlocked. All right, so. I don't know if this happens on PlayStation, but like there's a lot of games that come on like Xbox, like I guess like every week or something like that. They're like random PC games, right? That comes into the Xbox store, little mid-tier publisher publish these little cheap ass games that you can buy on Steam, but they're like the easiest like achievements that you can get. Like I think I earned, this is like the first time in a long time I earned like over 6,000 gamer score in a month, right? It also helped me obviously beat quite a few games, but they're these games, like some of them, they're cheap, but some of them are actually well made, where it's like they have like this endless replayability. So none of these games that I've been playing has anything like serious, like anything like hey, go play this and stuff like that. But if you guys want some easy, quick gamer score and have fun with the game, I played this game called Brotherhood United, and it's literally about these like assholes. They're like bar boys, right? And you go around town just beating down people, shooting them in, and all your other friends, you're just freeing them. I don't know who's locking them up, but you're not freeing them from prison. You're freeing. They'll be in town just chained to a building, and you have to do that, and then you get into these crazy ass boss fights. But it's one of those things you just play. You know how you just play games? Like imagine playing. I don't want to compare it like this, but you know when you're you're at home or something, you're out. Remember when Candy Crush came out? And you're just doing it, right? The pastime, you're just doing it and to see how far you can get. That's how some of these games that I've been playing are. It's just like passing time games. If I'm in a party and I don't have to pay attention to what's going on in the game, and I can pay attention more to the conversation, I got these games where I'm just getting through the levels, racking up achievements, and just completing the games. So I'm just naming a couple games that I've been doing. I did this game.
Hold up. Some might say you pat statting.
I'm patting. Yeah,
or stat padding.
Stat padding. All right. Yeah. So during the early part of the year, this is the most stat padding I've ever done because the drought is like I knew this drought was coming. So it's either backlog games or it's games that are quick. So I can remember I said I have this thing that I just want to go A to B. Like start, finish, done. That's what I've been doing. So I've been finding these games until Werewolf goes on sale or go on Game Pass because I will play that for sure, but I don't feel like paying $50 on it. So yeah, but these games aren't like just pure garbage. Like some of them I picked up were pure garbage, and I just requested refunds for them. But some of these that I keep going back to, like I said, was Rusty Gun, Robozaro. There's this game called Element, Tanks and Demons 3. Like literally, Tanks and Demons 3 is like a top-down 3D Pac-Man, but you're in a tank. Okay. Now the concept, right? It's like you know how little maze map. So you got to collect all these orbs, right, in like a maze, right? And instead of it being ghosts that you have to avoid, right? You avoid they'll put like a praying mantis, but they're like giant praying mantis or a giant like dog or something like that. But you have to, and it's not like you have unlimited ammo. You have to keep around the map, and then the ship that kind of circulates the map will either drop ammo, it'll drop health, it'll drop shield, or it'll drop boost. Okay. But the thing about this game is, you can run out of ammo. If you run out of ammo, you just gotta literally play it like Pac-Man. Avoid them. Get all the stuff you can gobble up because you can't beat the stage until you clear the stage. But it presents a challenge. I tried to put D-Nick on there, but it was one of the most intriguing games that I bought. And I was like, people, when I'm going through all my games, like people are gonna look at this game like, oh man, you padding with this ain't no easy game. It is not.
Where do you find these games,
bro? All right, this is how I'm starting. Me and D-Nick is supposed to be starting another series. It's not gonna be a podcast, little 8-minute video. What I've been doing is every now and then I check the Xbox store. I'll go to see what they updated for pre-orders or see what the new games came out for the week. And every week, new games are coming out. This is the craziest shit, though, right? You know how Xbox has those games. Every week, there's a batch of games that are just out. They may not be shit, but they're there, right? Some of them might just be just like one game. This is like one game I pre-ordered is this game called Kill It With Fire. I don't know if you heard of it, but you're inside like your apartment or house, and it's literally you killing spiders in your house. And first person with like flamethrowers, different weapons, and all this other shit. I have a fear of spiders and shit, so that's why I wanted to pick it up and try. It was like one of those things I wanted to give it out, but I think it's out for everything.
How do you play Grounded?
I can't fuck with Grounded. It's different. So the thing about killing with spiders is the spiders are small. Grounded, the spiders are larger than you. And, right. And the thing that Grounded did right with looks and behavior is that they got it to an accuracy. The way spiders look and the way they behave is very accurate. And that's what makes the game scary. Not scary to the point, oh my God. It's like, I don't want to fuck with that. Even though it's not gory when it comes, but when you see it, it's like when you see a spider in person, you see that shit, oh, I'm not going over there. That's exactly the move, is the accuracy of the behavior of those. And that's why I don't mess with Grounded. Like, I'll see an ant, the bugs that they show in the game, like army ants is fine. Like, the way ants react in that game is how they would react in real life. Don't fuck with an ant, and then they won't fuck with you. However, a spider, if the spider is bigger than you, you're prey to them. You know what I mean? So they're just attack. Their webs. You see their webs. The first thing you want to do is run because you know they're nearby. It's a cool game. I don't have a lot of time in it. A lot of people I see playing it and doing all the special things that they're able to do with Grounded is remarkable. But me personally, I can't do it because I can't handle spiders. It was one thing if your character is normal size and spiders are normal size, right? Then you could probably deal with it. Like I think I could deal with kill it with fire. Grounded is different because you're micro and you're seeing these life-size, accurate-looking spiders, but they're bigger than you. And I know what spiders look like. And so it's the mannerisms and everything that they got in the game that sort of makes it accuracy that impacts me. So I don't really fuck with Grounded like that, even though contrary to the belief. But yeah, dude, there's these but how I find these games is I go into the Xbox store and I'll see a game that's unfamiliar. First thing I do is I'll go to the reviews, and Xbox reviewers, like when they're reviewing games in the store, they're ruthless, right? They'll tell you exactly what's wrong. So in some of the games, they're like, I'll find like hidden gems where like a lot of people are praising this game for something it does, whether it's a gameplay style that I like, or if it's an easy gamer score. And you'll find that out in the reviews, and then I'm like, all right, I'll cop it. And so what happened was I copped like, and I'll give myself a budget of like, all right, I got a budget of $50 today, right? $50 is ideally one game, but with these games, that's $6 because they like $5 a pop. They're like $5-6 a pop.
Oh, so they're not in Game Pass?
Nah, they're just regular. Okay. It'd be nice if these games were to land in Game Pass, even though some of these probably should. The Game Pass fodder would be real if these games were. It's shovelware. It's literally shovelware. That's what I say. It's shovelware. There's a. Babe, can you close the door? There's a good amount of games that are like that do come out on Xbox Day One, like games like Werewolf, right? Games like Kill It With Spider. It's a handful of games that I'm like, I know this is not going to sell, right? Like, there's no advertising. I mean, you can tell like their reach is like, all right, if we could do 30,000, that's good for us, right? There's a lot of games that come out like that's not going to sell that should just by default launch into Game Pass. Like Werewolf was a game that just should have just launched it in Game Pass, because then you give that more people going to play because it's new. It's like, all right, it looks decent. It's like looks decent, right? People are going to play it, and then more people are going to play it, and then you're going to get more advertising. It's a multi-platform game, so the people that, let's say, the people that's streaming and tweeting about it from Game Pass, people that's playing on PC, PlayStation, they're like, oh, let me buy that game. Let me try that game. And that's how you get the word of mouth. Some games I don't understand why they don't launch directly into Game Pass, but the games I'm talking about, complete shovelware, bro. Complete shovelware.
Yeah, it sound like it. Yeah, that's what it sound like.
But some of them are decent. I'll say that.
I mean, at least you're trying something new, which is what I need to do as well, man. I need to try more indie games. That is one thing that I do want to do. Hopefully.
The funny thing about some of these games is they go as far as optimizing them for the series consoles. Like, they're running at 120 frames per second and everything. That's why I'm like, all right, I'll get at least something. At least I'm not playing like Xbox One.
It's one of those games you posted on Twitter.
Well, that was one of remember, I bought like 10 games in that because like I said, I gave myself like a $60 budget, and they were $5-6 a pop, so I was able to buy like a good 2 handfuls of them. But yeah, Element was one of those games, which was cool. I ended up finishing that game and got 100% completion. It was challenging. They're not easy games. That's the thing. They're challenging. But yeah, man, that was one of them. So let's get into. I know we've been in here 19 minutes in. I'm gonna just give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Some usual suspects. Bless Red. We got
Emmanuel
A1. Make sure you guys hit that like button and that share button. Let everybody pull in. Troy, Loki.
Yeah, usual suspects.
Yes.
What's up?
All right, so what
you want to get into now?
We're gonna get into
some things, man. Got some things to talk about.
Let's talk about.
Wait. First, hold on. Let me get one out of the way real quick.
Go ahead.
What is going on with Halo and the coalition coming over?
I was about to go off on you on that. Now, what was your tweet? What was your tweet about? What was your tweet about? Trouble in Paradise?
Because I wanted to go crazy on it, right?
Yeah.
Like I wanted to just, get my jokes off, right?
Yeah.
But then, you came in and stopped me real quick. So I was like, okay. And you said something about LinkedIn.
right.
Which I know. So like,
Okay.
what's going on? Because I want to know. Is there trouble in paradise?
No. Like, all right. So where this came from is somebody came across someone that works for Coalition, and in his LinkedIn profile says he's assisted with Halo Infinite. Okay. So people saw that like, oh, the Coalition helped 343 with Halo Infinite. It makes sense. So people took that and then they started turning it into like articles like, oh, this is they moved the development to Infinite. But the thing is to Coalition, the issue with that is that is nothing new. And it's going to happen even more now that they got more studios. The Coalition helped actually a lot of people. Remember, the Coalition helped the Initiative with Unreal because Perfect Dark is running on the Unreal Engine. So they were helping with rumor has it that there's going to be a multiplayer function and the Coalition assisted with that. I'm not quite sure about that, but
say that again.
That there's going to be a multiplayer portion of Perfect Dark, and they said Coalition helped with that. I know Coalition did a system with something related to the game. The only reason why that makes sense is because the Coalition is one of the studios at Xbox that are the masters at Unreal Engine. They're the best. They're the best users of Unreal Engine other than Epic.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of them came from Unreal, from Epic when Epic used to do Gear. So they're just really good with the tools and everything there. So yeah, in terms of Halo, Microsoft Studios they bounce around. They assist each other. That's the same thing. How didn't Cory Barlog and them helping them from Naughty Dog when they were working? Yeah, like so it's the same shit. So yeah, it's not really an issue, but that's where it came from. It came from because somebody spotted one of the Coalition employees' LinkedIn profile where it's like a resume. They give the list of things they work on. Halo Infinite just had to be on there, and that's where that came about. That's where that came about.
Yeah, I want to get my. But speaking of Halo, did you see the new screenshots of Halo?
Yes, absolutely. What's your thoughts?
What do you think about it? What do you think about it?
I thought they looked gorgeous, but I mean, I felt like the images, spoke for themselves. So I didn't tweet a whole lot about it. Actually, I don't think I tweeted anything at all about it outside of like a retweet. But no, they're doing a good job there. Visually, I mean, it's obviously a major step up from what we saw, and I'm happy. I'm looking forward to the game. I can't wait till they show it like playable, like like the better demo. And the thing is, the game is obviously I guess the game is gonna have like a natural day and night cycle. That's why I guess they shared all the gifts.
Really?
Yeah, like they shared like images of what they look like, what it looked like on like 4 different types of day, like time of day. They had one in the evening, one at dusk, one during the day, and stuff like that. And it's very dynamic because the game itself is going to be very dynamic. But they're doing a good job. They're being open. But I try not to dive too deep into their monthly updates until it starts to involve the flighting, which is betas and gameplay reveals. Once we start doing that, then I can be excited for it. But I mean, screenshots is screenshots. They're in game. They're from the game, which was cool. That's the thing that made me happy. I was like, all right, this looks great. But it was also running on what they had was it was from PC, and it says at the bottom, it says screenshots taken from PC. So. We'll see how that plays out, but shout out to 343.
Yeah, definitely a upgrade, but like you said, just want to see it in motion at this point.
Got to see it in motion, bro. Got to see it in motion.
Yeah, but it's definitely a come up though, for sure.
Right. So first thing we're going to talk about, let's talk about Outriders. It's out. It comes out April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Yes, it does.
And but the demo's out for Xbox, PlayStation, PC. They revealed a lot of things in terms of the game's target resolution and frame rate for the platforms. I played it on the Series X. I played it on the Series S. You've been playing it on the PlayStation 5. I played PS5. This is your gameplay we're watching. My gameplay is going to come up next. You're probably going to do a lot better than me because there was a lot of red on my screen. But your thoughts on it, man? Like remember, this is in a vein of Destiny, Division, etc., etc. But like this obviously is a little different. It does a lot of familiar things, and I'm pretty sure you're going to talk about that. So let's get your take on Outriders.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the thing. It's like everything is familiar, and it's so generic. Like it's not moving a needle as far as looter shooters or whatnot. And graphically, it doesn't look all that. Like it doesn't look like that next gen game. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I'm not even gonna hold you on that. The shooting is very satisfying. I guess because maybe there's not a lot of recoil in the guns, so like you have a steady aim. But the shooting is very like the gameplay itself kind of feels like a Gears type.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you don't necessarily bounce around like a Gears like you do in Gears, but like the cover system and the way you slide into cover is reminiscent of Gears. The one thing, I think the one thing that sets it apart is the powers, of course. But the thing with the power is like, so your health and your powers are kind of connected. And to where like you have to use your powers to get your health back. And so and I've been using the pyromancer, just because I just think he's like the most straightforward character.
It feel like he's an easier character, like
to like learn and master. But so like I like it a lot. The performance is really, really solid, except for the cutscenes. Because the cutscenes are 30 frames and they dip, and you can feel the dip too in the cutscenes. But gameplay,
it's shaky. The cutscenes are really shaky.
Yes. But gameplay wise, it is buttery smooth. Like I couldn't if it dropped frames, I couldn't tell. But it's buttery smooth and it's brutal. The game solo is very brutal because like they have world tiers where you go from world 1 tier 2 3, and I think the highest is 4 in this demo, which is what I'm playing on. And it is very brutal because the enemies, they just come at you. And they're
aggressive, very aggressive. And
their accuracy
fast
is A1.
They're fast as shit too.
Even the big motherfuckers.
I found myself running back into cover. I'm like, why? Like, what did you do? So I sat there and turned around, wait for her to do the leap. Let's see, how you getting here so fast? Like, you know what I mean?
And so even some of the enemies have augmented powers too. So like, I think in my gameplay, you see me get frozen, which obviously slows you down. But I'm liking the game. I'm buying it day one. I'm really, really liking it. Like it's so generic, but I think that's what it needed to be. I don't think it needed to be anything else. You know,
I think they were targeting something very accessible with this game.
Very pick up and play.
Me being a Gears fan, it felt familiar. Obviously, cover to cover, I felt like it was a more open. A looter Gears game, at least at the start, because once you get your powers, that's when things change. You know, a little bit. You got more flexibility in what you're doing, but they did borrow a lot from Gears, whether it be the cover, the rolling, the rolling out of harm's way, and everything that you can do. Visually, like I said, it doesn't seem like a next gen game. It is a cross gen game, right? It's on everything. I think the visuals, from what I can honestly, I ain't gonna lie, the visuals when you first start the game look like Halo Infinite's reveal visual. Like, I don't know if, like, I was like, this, okay. Which I didn't mind because it didn't bother me at that point. When I see it, I was like, this doesn't look too bad. So I don't think it looks bad. I just don't think it looks like remarkable. It doesn't, I don't see anything next gen about it, but it doesn't look bad. In terms of performance, my take on performance is a bit mixed, right? So I played on a Series X on my TV. I didn't feel like I had everything was running. It felt smooth to me, very smooth. And the cutscenes, like I said, you notice the issues. I feel like there was a lot of judder of like when it's taking place. I remember I'm just watching this dude cape move a certain way. I'm like, I was like, something's wrong. And then I played recently today on a Series S, where I know there's definitely, I didn't see any like comparisons yet, but I know there's got to be some sort of like fluctuation because it didn't feel as smooth as it was on my X. There was a lot of like, and the monitor I'm playing on doesn't have like VRR or anything like that. So anything that's going to happen, I'm either going to see it or feel it, right? So I'm playing, I'm like, all right, this is like, I can see it's targeting there. You still got the speed and the smoothness, but I can see where it breaks down. And then the other thing is visual. I know they said the Series S is like running like, it's supposed to be 4K. 4K it's 4K 60. So obviously, I don't think it's holding that the same way obviously the Series X is, because there is a visual. I don't know if they're using like any sort of checkerboarding technique, but you'll see like image breakup, sometimes. So I don't know how they got there. We'll find out whether it be dynamic, which is probably likely, or it's like some sort of checkerboard solution. Or it's just that the image, it could be running 4K, but the image quality is, I guess, probably likely lower. Like the detail is probably lower than what it is on the Series X. But overall, the foundation is there. I enjoyed my time playing. I was playing on a smaller monitor versus my TV, which it probably would have, exposed any faults as well. But then it probably would have been smoother due to VRR. The things, I think they got a story going for it. Things are making sense, they kind of, things happen fast, and I'm just curious to see how it plays out throughout your entire game, because will this be a games as a service, or is it just a looter experience? Like, because this demo seems pretty lengthy.
Yeah, I don't. That's a good question. I'm not quite sure if it's a game as a service. I don't know. I don't think I saw any microtransactions either in the game. So that's a good question.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find what it is going for, but right now I like it. I say it's okay. I like it, but right now I'm finding myself in a situation where it's a little bit tough, and you guys are going to see at the end of this demo where I haven't played with anybody else. I don't know if you did any multiplayer sessions yet, right?
Not yet.
Yeah. So I played solo and finding different items and whatnot, trying to do side missions. But I need to stop because I hate playing games and not earning real shit. I know this shit carries over, but I was like, damn, I want to get some achievements. But I've been enjoying my time. Like, I like it. I legit like it. I feel like this is one of those games. I couldn't get into Destiny, right? I trying to get into the Division. I'm just so far behind. I don't think it's really worth my time. The new Ghost Recons, I like the way they look. I just find myself bored with them. This I actually like, and I like it because I haven't played with a soul yet. I'm playing literally by myself, and I'm enjoying it. Those other games I just mentioned, I don't know. I can't enjoy it by myself at all. I have to have somebody play with me for me to play longer than about a half an hour.
Yeah.
Whereas,
my fault.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think this game is just tailored for a squad. It's solo is doable.
Yeah.
But once you rank up into like higher world tiers, because
the difficulty level is cranked up. You said the highest tier you got was what?
So right now the highest is World Tier 4.
Oh, sorry.
World Tier 4.
World Tier 4. All right, so that's where I
but they're higher world tiers though.
Obviously, I'm pretty sure the full game you probably get some crazy ass level where that's where all that loot and shit is going to matter. The gear and the weapons and shit like that. And my thing is about these games is my attention span going to last to want to keep doing that, and then. Because you're not going to be able to do all that by yourself to keep managing that. So my thing is, am I going to be able to have a squad on these? A lot of these guys that play these type of games are very territorial. You know what I mean? Dudes who play Destiny, they're just playing Destiny. They may dabble in like the Division, but it's Destiny. And same thing with those who play like the the Ubisoft versions of those games. It's like this game is going to have to find its crowd. I don't know if they're going to pull from those other games, you know what I mean? So I think this game, it has an opportunity. I mean, I don't know how many. This game is being published by Square Enix. People Can Fly is usually a sub studio that typically does games for other people. You know what I mean? So I think it's the first for all parties involved, and hopefully it lasts. But I think they got something good. I felt like the formula they got is right. It's very accessible, so it has this gameplay loop that's very addictive and easy. Once they got you in that way, it's the matter of how they manage it, which is those world tiers, which would make it difficult. But I feel like they got the foundation is there, and so far I'm enjoying it. I'm probably going to cop it. I mean, yeah.
Like with any looter, content is going to be key for this game.
Yeah,
they have to crank out the content. One thing that I do want to one thing that I am thinking about is like how are they going to do the story? So like, okay, if you're playing by yourself, right?
Yeah. And
then you want to play with a squad.
Mm-hmm.
Like whose storyline are you going to pick up on? Like, so like say like I'm not as far as you in the game, but like, and then we start playing together.
Yeah.
Whose storyline are we?
I think it works just like the other games, is that but if you already did it, you're probably going to see the shit again. You know what I mean? Okay. You're just going to see, if you break into a cutscene, you're probably just going to see it again. It's just you probably will have a better time, or I probably have a better time with it because one of us is going to be higher ranked. But
if you come into my game, you think you're going to come into my story? Like if I invite you, you're going to come into my story.
Yeah, but the thing is, if I'm not mistaken, I'm assuming it works like everybody else. I'm coming in with the shit that I have, right? Right. The shit that I earned, and if I happen to replay a mission, I'm happy to replay it with you. I don't think the way that these things are set up, they're kind of set up where it has a story, but at the end of the day, it's not like tapped into like this timeline. Now I'm wondering, like, does it scale? So, like, if you come in higher level than me, are your enemies going to be at your scale level or at my level? That's a good question. I'm pretty sure this game is just getting a following. We could probably reach out to them and find that out. But, I mean, if I'm going based on how it worked and, how did it work in the division? I feel like in the division when I was playing with people,
no idea.
everybody was much higher than me, and I would just rank up because they would get all the kills, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I'm just I'm being carried through, but because the gap between of what the damage that they're doing, I guess I was earning at the rate that they was. Same thing with Destiny. So I think I don't know if it's a situation where if I'm a tier 1, right, and you guys are. I don't think that the game would. I don't know, dude. That's a good question. Shout out to Jack Move Johnny, man. Shout out to Jack Move Johnny.
Oh yeah, what up, Jack? Oh, I just put it in the chat. What's up, Jack? But yeah, I'm liking the game. I'm really. It's a day one for me. And it's kind of like you said, it's a drought, so it's kind of something to pass the time.
Yeah.
But I can see myself like really getting into it if the content is there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm definitely digging it.
Absolutely. All right. Another major thing that happened this week. I know we got some PS Plus editions. Final Fantasy 7 Remake headlining March PS Plus, which is cool. There's also
I think there's Farpoint.
That's the VR game, right?
That's the VR game, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And then there's Remnant of Ashes.
Remnant of the Ashes. Like yeah. That's that. It's a shooter Souls type game. Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's one new PS5 game. Like it's launching in PlayStation Plus. It's called Marquis or Marquette.
Marquette or some shit. Yeah, I saw it. I know what it was. I just saw the image. Marquis. Yeah, it's probably one of those $5 indies. That's probably I think
it's like some kind of puzzle game. I think I'm not quite sure. I don't know, but yeah. Final Fantasy 7 is the headliner. The one I guess downside to Final Fantasy 7 is that you can't upgrade to the PS5 version.
Absolutely. Yeah. There was a about that. the dumb delivery. I get it. Like people, like I know Chris came at me sideways because I had a comment on it, but like no, because people were under the impression they was like, oh right, this is awesome. It comes out and it's just like getting the PS5 version for free.
Yep.
Nope. They're like, oh no, if you rightfully own the game, sure. But if you think you're gonna grab this shit off the subscription, hell no. You have no rights to the next gen version, and what do you expect? I mean, I know a lot of PlayStation guys have this expectation. They don't want to pay no $1 for no fucking game. You know what I mean? Like that's not their style. You know what I mean? So they shouldn't be mad at that. You know what I mean? Speaking of that, with the exception of, I know March is going to be a big month for like subscription services, right? So all the games is going to PlayStation. Madden 21 is going to Game Pass in March. There's another Star Wars Squadrons. Now I kept myself from buying this game, but I'm happy because I will play through this game. It's 100. This game is 4K 120 on the Series X, and I think it's 14. I know it's 1440p on the Series S, and it's 120. So I'm definitely gonna play that. I didn't want to buy it because I'm not into like space, like air, like flight. Yeah. So what piqued my interest, because at the time that it came out, it came out like right before the new consoles came out. But when I was playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, you know how they have the expansion campaign? You spent a lot of time in those flight battles. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I can do it. Can I do an entire game like this? I wouldn't pay money for an entire game like this, but if Squadrons is on sale, I might think about it. But I was like, now it's the part of the Game Pass, I could wait for it to go on the Game Pass, and I'll definitely play it. Yeah, flying against AI and flying against real people, like other controlled people, is totally different. That's why I didn't play it. I'm not playing it because I don't like flying. I just want to play through the campaign. I just want to play through a campaign. Does it have a campaign?
Yes,
I was about to say, I'll just play through the campaign and uninstall. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's me. Like, so it's going to be a big month for March, big month for PlayStation. In terms of also news out of PlayStation, PSVR for PS5, they announced that, but they didn't give us a release date. They just let us know it exists. It exists. Yeah.
They didn't give us a mock image or anything. Yeah, just like you said, let us know it's coming. Yeah. And I don't care about it. Me neither. I got rid of my PSVR actually. And I get motion sickness, so I'm.
I don't care. At the same time that came out, because it was like good cop bad cop day for PlayStation when they did that, right? So the good cop was, hey, PSVR, we got a new headset. It'll be coming soon, right? Bad cop was Days Gone and a whole new slate of PlayStation games that will be arriving on PC. And that kind of set Twitter on fire. Why did this happen, Dre?
PlayStation. I don't. They in their feelings, man. Like this, if you sit back and look at it, this is not a bad thing. To me, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's a 2-year-old game, right? And so, people don't care if old games go to PC. I guess majority just don't want day and date. Yeah, that. I'm not of that crowd. I don't care if it goes day and date or 3 years after or not. Yeah. Because here's how I look at it, right? Yep. If you are a primary console gamer, more than likely you're not going to go out and spend $1,500 to $2,000 on a PC just because these PlayStation games are going to PC now. I just don't think that's likely, really. Yeah. And that's why I don't understand why they are so upset about it, because it's like you're going to be playing it on console anyway. And if it's not day and date, the PC players got to wait 2 to 3 years anyway. So by that time, you've already played and beat the game. So I just don't get it. Like, the only negative that I kind of see is that now PlayStation won't have the definitive version of the game. Yeah. I mean, that's the only really the only downside I can see, because it's a win-win for all of us. They making money on console. A PlayStation can make their money on PC. They can recoup all that money and dump it right back into PlayStation. It's like a revolving door.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't see the outrage. Maybe, and I think this is why they're so upset.
Yeah.
This is less ammo for them to use against Xbox.
It's always been that. It's always been that. And that was my feelings when. All right, so back in the day, when the Xbox, because Xbox wasn't always day and date when it came to PC. Right. It was like, I could tell you exactly how much time lapsed between Rise going to PC, Dead Rising going to PC. I could tell you when they actually went to PC. That's how in the jam I was. I was like, well, for PC they gotta wait, right? It's not every game. And it's not every shit. You know how long I was holding on to Halo 5 Guardians not being on PC, and Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive went, I think, like maybe 4 years later. Like and like Halo 5 didn't go, but they made like the Forge mode go to PC, but not the actual game. And I was like, we still got Halo 5 Guardians, right? But Halo Infinite's going. So it's like that ship has sailed. So like once upon a time, I used to tell PlayStation guys, well, it's not every game, so it doesn't like matter. Oh, Xbox games are going to PC, but not day one. And then day one fucking happened, and that's when the infamous Crap Gamer said he was canceling his Quantum Break pre-order. This is when like Play Anywhere was announced. Yeah, he said he's canceling his Quantum Break pre-order. And Phil Spencer responded, he said, "You're gonna cancel a pre-order because other people get to experience the game." And yeah, so yeah, and the writing's been on the wall. The library is growing. What you got? Death Stranding was sort of the quickest turnaround. It was like a 6 months turnaround, right, for that one, right? Horizon Zero Dawn. You have Detroit.
Like 3 years. Detroit.
What's those other like David?
Like Beyond Two
Souls and all those. Yeah.
Yep.
They also got
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain. So those games are on like PC. Days Gone, obviously is next, and then they said a whole slate. So I mean, that could be. This is what I see happening. I see the entire PlayStation Plus collection making its way over to PC, and then eventually, right now, any game that's not first party that got those exclusive, those second and third party exclusive of PlayStation, they're PS5, PC day and date. Right. It is. That's what it is now. And then, sure, PlayStation games will trickle in afterwards. Day and date, to me, it doesn't matter. And my thing is, it's like the biggest issue with this. It's nothing's going to happen. Nothing changes about PlayStation games. It's the fact that it can't be used in an argument against Xbox. That's the one token you had, right? You like exclusive. Now that has to go away. And they have to talk. Now they have to count Game Awards. That's the only thing. Like, well, my exclusive that's on PC got more Game Award nominations and all this other shit. So it's like, this is how I look at it, right? And I said it on Twitter. I was like, every game I play on Xbox is an exclusive to me, because if I'm playing it on Xbox, I'm not playing it anywhere else. It is what it is. I mean, I get the whole exclusive thing, but at the end of the day, it's like I want Xbox to have exclusives, right? But it's not because, and when I say exclusive, I'm not counting like PC as well. Like, yeah, I want them to have it because I just want them to produce games for obviously their platform. You know what I mean? To have like, all right, this is what Xbox has, this is what PlayStation has. Like, it's more so for that. It's not because like I think the game is going to be better because it's only on Xbox. It's just automatic like gold. Like people like PlayStation guys, have like this attitude where it's like it's only good if it's only on PlayStation. But the minute that game goes anywhere else, is at best average at best. Yeah. And it's just a wrong attitude to have. And a lot of this shit is going to come back to eat them because all the stuff they've been spewing over the years, the token, the trophy that they had, like whatever they felt very personal with, games being exclusive, with a game getting a certain meta score or a game selling certain much. It was like a lifetime achievement to them. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how they deal with it, but they can't talk all that shit because all the shit they were talking about Xbox, I don't need Xbox. I'm just going to buy PC. It doesn't care who Xbox buys. I'm going to just play their games on PC and still get my games on PlayStation. Yeah, they can't talk that shit no more because none of the motherfuckers that said they were going to buy a PC actually bought a PC. So, oh, you muted it. Like, there you go. You're back.
My fault. That's kind of the key too, because PlayStation is targeting a existing audience on PC. Because like I said, it's PlayStation gamers are not about to drop PlayStation and build a PC for $2,000. So they're not about to do that.
Yeah.
So PlayStation is hitting a existing market, or that person that's on the fence between do I want to buy a console or do I want to build a PC?
Yeah.
Those are the only two people that's who they're targeting. If you're a console gamer, you're going to stay on console. Unless you just want to go to PC, I guess. I don't know. But it doesn't devalue the brand because they're making money to recoup into the brand.
Yeah.
So, man, they were in their feelings, man.
No, they were. They
were in their feelings. It's crazy. Like, I don't understand it, because it's a win. It's good for gamers. It's good for us because more money hopefully equals better games.
Well, you asked a question once before, right? Mm-hmm. It was when and first I'm gonna read the super chat and then I'm gonna go back to this question that you asked. So I'm gonna turn this back around and ask this question you asked me before, right? All right, Black Metal Gamer for $5 says, "See, to me, consoles are an accessible option for gamers. It's no different than Netflix being on PC or a Roku box or mobile. Twitter gamers are a minority." Yes, Twitter gamers are the problem. Gatekeeping gaming at its finest. It's like it's the weirdest shit. It's like PlayStation guys treat like buying a PlayStation like some sort of club. Like only like a select few can get a PlayStation, and only a select few can play is exclusive. When the goal is you want as much people as possible. Like they do celebrate people that bought a PlayStation. Like I have a PlayStation. I have a PS5. I had it day one. And it's like, I don't play it as much as my Xbox. But I don't see what's the big deal. It's like the way that they treat this. You think they were like, giving their PlayStation console some late night smooching, but
like you do with your Xbox.
Well, my Xbox. So you asked a question. Remember when Xbox Live price hike, and we said it was likely for them to try to push as many people into Game Pass as possible, right? And you said well, are they happy with their numbers? Now PlayStation, we hear all the time about PlayStation games selling.
Let's talk about it.
Breaking records and being this, top that, right? And what was the reason Jim Ryan said they want to put these games on PC? Because games are costing more to make, and development time and development costs. So you telling me all the records PlayStation has broken? You're telling me it's not enough? PlayStation's not doing enough? That means they're not satisfied with just selling these games on PlayStation alone.
Talk about it, because I brought that up on Twitter and I got heckled for that.
What did you say? I might have missed this tweet.
I just said something. I said something on the strength of, I was like, maybe if y'all would have bought these games in the tens of millions and the 20s of millions, they wouldn't be going to PC. And they came after me. They sure did come after me, because I brought that up, and that's a fair point. That is a fair point, because I mean, okay, granted, these games are getting more costly. Okay, but there is 100 million plus PlayStation users, right?
Is it 100 plus million users? Are they active users or just total users?
I guess total. I don't know how many active users.
Go ahead.
But yeah, something ain't right, because if a game, if a studio is satisfied with their earnings.
He's doing a show.
Go ahead, please.
Why bring it to PC?
Absolutely.
Why bring it to PC to make more money? If that they're satisfied. Obviously, these games they aren't satisfied with their recoup, and they need more money.
Yeah,
because look,
go ahead.
Put it like this. Now, granted, Nintendo games don't cost as much as Xbox and PlayStation games to make, but they sell 30 million.
Yeah,
and you don't see those games going to PC, right?
You gotta do some sort of, you gotta get emulators to get those games,
right? And so yes, hey, something ain't right.
Yeah, so they obviously aren't satisfied, where they feel the need to dabble into the PC market, and to sell their games there. They're making these big budget games. They release about 3-year. PlayStation guys hype the 3 to 5 million or so that they sell, and they think they're the king of the world. And we're in Sony's eyes, assuming how much these games cost to make, that 3 to 5 isn't enough. That 3 to 5, every game has to do 10 to 15 mil. And it was like, if they're not going to get 10 to 15 mil there, then maybe they can get at the time that it doesn't cost much to put it on PC. The development cost is already done and absorbed by the PlayStation guys. That would just extra money on there, and to recoup from what they guys didn't do, and that just have to come of the expense of the PlayStation guys of seeing their favorite game on a different format, different storefront. But yeah, man, that's what it comes out to. It comes out to money. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Say they are doing good. Like something's not adding up. Okay, because either are they just doing good enough to recoup on that game, but not have enough for a sequel, like to make the sequel bigger and better? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
I think what happened was, I think what happened is that the gaming industry has grown, obviously, right? And PlayStation had record-breaking years. And you would say the PS4 gen was PlayStation's best gen, right? That's when they made. You think they made?
As far as what?
The PS4 gen, in terms of first party output, how much money they generated and stuff like that. You would think that said, oh, you know what? Repeat, do the same thing with PS5. So obviously, it's not, their way was not sustainable. Sustainable for where they can feel like they can do that again for another 8 years.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
you got it.
Yes, I don't think it's I believe they don't think it's sustainable. So
yeah,
they have to do what they have to do. That is the reason why. Now, Microsoft knew it wasn't sustainable a long time ago. Mm-hmm. That's why they had to find a way. And the thing that sucked about Game Pass was like, all right, people aren't going to like this, but the people aren't going to like this because their games, are the Halos and the Gears, they're not going to show up at the top of the game sales list anymore. Mm-hmm. Because if what they want to do works, it shouldn't, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are they doing for the movies that just launched day into subscription services? They're not in the box office like that no more, because ain't nobody going to the movies. So how are they measuring that, right? It's less important, right? It's like, all right, how many subscriptions did we get since this movie came out? So when you look at that, it's like, so Xbox figured it out, right? And they also know they had a situation that was a double-edged sword, right? Because it works for them, first party, because they make the money, right? How is Game Pass doesn't really work for third party. It's always going to be like this delay. No, let's throw it in there after we've met our peak, right? In sales, right? But so that's why Microsoft know they can't rely completely on third party for Game Pass. So this is why, okay, if we're going to do this right, we're going to have to we're going to have literally a couple third party size publishing like on our end, just so this can be sustained for us. And that's why you're seeing them buy all these studios, not because they Not because they need, they're afraid of PlayStation, all this other stuff. Because if Game Pass is their future, they know they can't, relying on third parties is going to be unsustainable because Game Pass doesn't work for third party. After a while, it's going to become expensive because the more subscribers Microsoft get, the more money third parties are going to ask to put their game in there. If you have if you have 30 studios working on games, you could say no to a lot of these third party deals, and then you could just pay AA and indies to fill because the most of the content that you're going to be putting out moving forward will be first party. Just like how it took Netflix a while, but a lot of the content that's coming out is Netflix originals. Yeah. And Disney, all they had to do was like, all right, let's take everything away from everybody else and create our own subscription because everything we got is exclusive. We got 80 plus years worth of content that we could put in our subscription. So everything in Disney is first party, technically, right? So,
and so now I'm thinking. This got me thinking real quick. I'm kind of nervous that this $70 price hike still isn't going to be
absolutely enough. Is that that's why they suggested above $70 in their meetings. And so Sony, like I said, would have been more than happy to sell the game for freaking to sell a game for $80 because they can get away with it because you know these PlayStation guys would be more than happy. They didn't want to pay $1 or $9 to play a first party game. But they'll be happy. They wanted to pay $60, they'll pay $70. And if Sony said, you know what, our games are worth $90, PlayStation fans would be like, all right, we're paying $90 for them. So
and this is why Xbox was so good to jump on that subscription because you're seeing money every month.
Yeah.
Instead of going a period where you see all this cash and then it just dies off after however long,
because
or whatever.
You know what I mean? Because games like PlayStation, they got mega hits, right? And their games aren't cheap. They don't make cheap games. Games cost a lot of money to make, and the expectation for some of their games, their big titles, is what, 3 million in 3 days or some shit like that, 4 million in 3 days, and then they hit their peak, and after a while, it stops.
Yeah.
So, whereas,
which is why they're going to PC now.
You gotta keep feeding the beast, and they're not producing enough content for it to consistently keep happening that way. You know what I mean? So we'll see what they're do. Shout out to Dexter M. He's a new sub with the 1UP super chat.
What's up, Dexter? Man, I'm really nervous that. I'm really nervous that $70 is not going to be enough, and another price hike is inevitable.
I don't think another. I mean, there will be. I don't know. Usually with these price hikes,
PlayStation gets their own subscription. Like
they do. I don't know.
I know PS.
The thing about PlayStation though that's weird though is that I feel like you got PS Now, you got PS Plus. I feel like
that's true.
I don't understand. I guess I'm not like. I feel like they need to merge them. They're both good, but PS Plus, because I feel like PS Plus gets this level of, I don't know. I just feel like they're redundant. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
So somebody on Twitter brought up to me that they could see PlayStation doing a PlayStation Plus Premium, where they do add in PlayStation Now for that one cost.
For one cost. Because PlayStation Plus, the name PlayStation Plus, obviously thinking about it, it fits into like a subscription. And I think, they're putting good content, you know what I mean? I feel like they're doing wonders. Obviously, it's miles better than Xbox games with gold. But Xbox games with gold to the point, at this point, it's trash, but it's overshadowed because it doesn't need to exist because of Game Pass. Exactly. It's like when games with gold. This is how I look at games with gold, right? I don't know what games are coming out with games with gold. I'll go into Game Pass and games with gold games are there just by default because it's part of the subscription. So to me, it's just like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna if it's a good game, I'll grab it. But I can name you probably like 2 or 3 games that I've actually grabbed from gold and actually played. Usually I don't download the games from games with gold. But there was a moment though that they were launching like during Xbox One, the first half of the Xbox One gen, they were launching like new like AA in indie games, it'll be at least one game was new IP, right? It wasn't exclusive, but a new IP to download, which was cool. But they stopped doing that long ago. And what happened was, because of backwards compatibility is actually what killed that. Because after the backwards compatibility library got to a certain point, they could just cycle out, all right, one Xbox game, one Xbox 360 game, two Xbox One games. That's 4 games. You know what I mean? So it's like, regardless of what the games are, whether they're trash or not, it's still 4 games. So I think that's how they looked at it. But now that Game Pass is there, it just, games with gold is just, it's unnecessary. And I feel like PS Now is decent. PS Plus is great, but I feel like they could technically be getting more for PS Plus at the rate that they're doing their games. So PS Plus, I feel like there's no value. For me, there was no value in to having PS Plus outside of the games, because I feel like there's not. PlayStation doesn't produce. Yeah, PlayStation doesn't produce online content for you to play online. So those actually have to be a big deal over there. Whereas, I mean, Xbox games, they're typically playing online. You know what I mean? So I feel like where PlayStation, the online game that you're doing on PlayStation is third party. The Fortnite, Destiny, Call of Duty, shit like that, right? Right. So you wanted to pay. You want to pay for that to have that online connection, but at the end of the day, I think the value in their service is actually the games, the discounts. Because they treat that better. Whereas Xbox, I feel like the games with gold value isn't there. Is more so we're only going to keep paying for it because of the online gameplay. I think we are on our pretty much our final topic, unless I missed something. PlayStation State of Play. You watched State of Play, right?
I did watch State of Play.
All right, so this was sort of, the to cap off the week that PlayStation had, whether it be games going to PC and different exclusivity situations going on. How you gonna have to tell me how this PS Plus went and give a grade, because I can't give a grade. I didn't watch it natively. I'm just going based off reactions that people had on Twitter and on YouTube. So.
Yeah, so I'll just run down the list real quick and get my thoughts on it. So the first game they showed was Crash Bandicoot 4. I'm not really a big fan of Crash, so.
They opened with that?
Yeah, they opened with for the PS5 upgrade. Yeah. Then they had Returnal, was the second game, which I'm still on the fence on Returnal. I don't know what to make of that game, really. I think it's something that, obviously it's something that I'm going to have to play it to see if I enjoy it. Yeah. But one thing I will say, and a lot of people disagree with me, but I don't think it should be $70 for that type of game. Hold on. Not because it's not going to be a good game, but because it's a niche type game. It's a roguelike type game that everybody isn't, familiar with or likes like that. So I think $50 would have been the sweet spot for that game. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. And then they showed a kung fu game called Sifu, which looks really, like the name sounds crazy, but it looks really dope. It looks really cool. It's from the people who made Observer. Wait. Observer, is that where it was like that sort of like Absolver.
That was that it was like a combat game, right?
Yeah. Okay. Really technical combat.
Yeah. I dropped that shit.
Me too. But it's from the people who made that, and this looks really cool. So like it's like the concept is like you fight, and then like if you die, when you come back older. And so you come back older and wiser, and so you learn new moves each time you come back and you get older. Stuff like that, but the combat looks visceral. It looks cool. It looks good. Okay. So I'm checking for that. That comes out this year. Then after that they showed Knockout City, which is a dodgeball game. I think somebody said it was previously shown that on a Nintendo Direct or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's a dodgeball game. It looked okay, but I'm not really checking for it like that. Then they showed Solar Ash, which is an indie game, like outer space type game, something like that.
You said Solar Ash?
Yeah, Solar Ash. Okay. It kind of reminds me of what's that game that came out for PS5. That game where you shoot the arrows and that's how you move throughout the world. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, freaking
the Pathless.
The Pathless, yeah, that just came out. Yeah.
It's kind of like that where you like kind of like shooting things to gain your speed and move throughout the world, but it's like set in outer space and stuff like that. So I'm not really checking. I mean, I might get it because I do. Like I said, I do want to try more indies. So
yeah, I mean, you got to. I mean, these droughts. I mean, these droughts, bro. I don't know, man. I can recommend you some from my games beat.
Yeah, I'm sure. So then after that, they show Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. It's a kids game.
Yeah, people keep asking me, is it a kids game? I thought it was a horror game.
It is a horror game, and it's like marketed. So it is a horror game, and it's like marketed towards like, okay. So like my kids watch it and they love Five Nights at Freddy's. So like on PC they do all the they mod it and do all kind of crazy stuff with it.
Yeah.
But it technically is a real game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was about to buy it to pass some achievements because, but I was like, it's a horror game. I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah. I think I think it is targeted towards kids, but I don't know. My kids watch it, so that's why I say that.
All
right. So then they show Oddworld Soulstorm.
Every time I see that game, I'm just unenthused.
I didn't even like it back in the day when it was came on the old consoles. I didn't give it a shot. Then they show Kenna Bridge of Spirits, which looks fucking amazing. That game looks super dope. And it finally got a release date of August 24th.
August, that's later than I expected.
It is later. I was praying that it was coming out this month, but August 24th, and that game looks beautiful. The combat looks really good. And the price is good too. The price is right. It's $40 for the regular version and then $50 for the deluxe version. That does have some people worried that it might not be as long as one would hope.
I think the reason
I don't really put I don't put that.
I think the reason for the price though, if you think about the price for cross-gen games, right? They're respectable. It's a cross-gen game, right? It's PS5, PS4, PC. $40. It's probably going to be a nice 8-hour experience game. I wouldn't be.
I think it's like Open Hub. Like I think it might be longer because it's like Open Hub. I think, and then you have collectibles and stuff like that.
I mean, 40. I mean, I guess the thing is the game probably for the price you got to ask yourself that it's a AA price.
Yeah, that is true.
It's a AA price. It's a cross-gen game. I don't think the price means there's going to be like anything wrong with it. I think there's something about it. Either it's not going to be as long, or it's not going to be as polished, or it's not going to be as
It looks delicious though, man.
It looks delicious. Really there's a lot of AA games that look delicious though.
It looks really good, man. Like I'm really hyped for Kenna, man. I'm really hyped.
I'm looking forward to. Like that's the only that and Ratchet and Clank are the only two games that I want. Like I'm really looking forward to that I know that's coming this year because I don't think God of War is coming this year, and then rumor has it that Horizon may not make it. So if those aren't making it, I don't know what the fuck.
And then Gran Turismo got delayed too.
And Gran Turismo got delayed, so I don't know what the fuck I'm like. I mean Deathloop, which was like I would probably have waited for Xbox if I like
2022.
Yeah, which sucks. It fucking sucks.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I want to spend $70 on it to play it. Like, you know what I mean? If I know it's going to be.
Hey, no, that's true. Yeah. I feel you on that. I will wait.
It looks like I said, but I might support the team now. They are part of the Xbox banner. So it is what I mean. But yeah, dude, like, Kenna does look good. It's up my alley. Hell, that game was probably cheaper, and because of the hype surrounding it, probably got a price hike that we didn't know. Yeah. So I mean, the game, like I said, the game looks good. It showed out every time it's shown. It showed out. I did expect the game though to come out like I thought the game would be coming out in like March or April.
Me too. I was hoping August. But nope. August 24th. Then they showed Deathloop, which I mean, I think if you like Dishonored, you're going to like Deathloop because that's just what it looks like to me. kind of has the same powers as Dishonored.
Yeah, I think the thing about Dishonored, and I got into it. I'm gonna pick it back up. Is I'm not sure if I like the sneaking around. There's certain mechanics that the game has that I'm not a fan of. Not that it makes it bad. Some people are better at it. I think I would prefer the Death Loop route because I think Death Loop, it seems straightforward. I know it got some mechanics with like loops and stuff like that, rewinding and shit like that. But it just seems like a more appealing game to me.
Yeah. So yeah, and then they ended it with the Final Fantasy remake, PS5 upgrade, and there is a DLC coming with it as well, which is kind of weird because it's an episodic game, but DLC is already coming for it. That's weird to me, but so it's coming with DLC upgraded. It looks good. It has a 4K mode and a 60 frames mode. But when I saw the trailer, I thought it was just one mode, 4K 60. But apparently it's not. So. Oh
wait! Tell me this, because when I asked, all right, what's going on here? Because I know isn't the game currently has a setup right? How does it run on a PS4 Pro? Is it like a or is it a high? Isn't it like a dynamic? Is it dynamic res at 30 or what?
I think so. It might have a performance. I have it, but I don't like it. I dropped it. So.
Oh, you dropped? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not quite familiar.
The PS5. All right. So where did you find out that it has like two modes? Because people are. I mean, the way people were talking is like, oh, it's running at 60. Like.
Yeah. So I guess in the trailer, I didn't see it though.
I didn't see it either. Because that's why I asked. I was because that's when I actually got to tune in. I got to tune in the middle of the Final Fantasy comparison shots that they were doing.
I thought it just said 4K 60 in the trailer, but apparently there's two modes. There's a 4K, I'm guessing native 4K 30 mode, and probably a dynamic resolution 60 mode. I guess I don't know, but I just thought it was one mode. But it does have upgraded textures, volumetric fog, upgraded lighting, which they were trying to call it downgrade. I seen the side by side pictures of the fog in the PS4 version, PS5 version. It looks good. Hopefully them textures got a real up.
Because that was the beef with the actual game on the PS4 and PS4 Pro. Because there were parts of the game that look really good, right? And then you walk next to a wall and I'm like, that don't look right.
PS1. Yeah. So hopefully them textures got a 4K texture upgrade, but so that was pretty much it. Overall, I'm only really checking for two games. That's Kenna and Sifu. So I got to give it a 2 out of 10.
2 out of because you're doing it by games show.
Yeah, because that's only two games I'm checking for.
All right, it's funny because Nintendo, the two most praised people, Nintendo had a whack direct. But I think they might have made up for it with this Pokemon thing that people are in love with. And then PlayStation had this PlayStation Direct that people were hyping with their predictions, and they were going to tell us how Kenna was going to
problem.
Kenna was going to be PS Plus for March and all this other shit. It was a lot of shit that was talking the trailers and everything, and just for the shit to be trash and be like, oh, I didn't expect much. Okay, your Twitter said something else.
Because a lot of people was expecting to see Horizon Forbidden West, but I was like, hell no. But I thought that's a game you say for E3. You don't show that in a direct.
See, the directs I figured, don't they? Because they also do state of plays for like single game state of plays where they focus on one particular game. Like when they did that. They did that with The Last of Us. They did that with Part 2. They did that with Days Gone.
Yeah, they did do that.
They did that with
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. They did that with Spider-Man. I figured I was like, okay. I thought, but I don't know if maybe I'm not on PlayStation's jock like that to know if they say, hey, the state of play is dedicated to this, or they say state of play and then what it is we see it then. Now I thought it was going to be, I was like, all right, it's February. What game comes out in March or April? I'm assuming it's going to be dedicated to that game where we get like this gameplay breakdown of maybe Returnal or Ratchet's June, right? Yes, Returnal is April, right?
I think April 30th. I think.
What game got put? What's in March? I know Returnal was March and it got pushed to April.
Mm-hmm.
And we know Deathloop is in May.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah, I did it. Yeah.
We shall see. We shall see. He said. Square Enix says Square Enix is looking shaky, bro. But go ahead, my bad, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, it was underwhelming, to say the least.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but like the good thing is that PlayStation, like they're like, once this drought is over, there are going to be some really good games coming.
Absolutely.
Throughout the year. So
the funny thing, though, and I think we're pretty much at wrap up time, but 2021 was supposed to be the that shit
that year,
like you know what I mean. Let's assume, right? So as of January 1st, 2021, right, when we were stepping into the year, we knew that Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo, along with Ratchet and Clank, Deathloop, and Returnal.
I could have swore Final Fantasy 16.
And Final Fantasy, so all those games and versus Halo Infinite.
Yep.
So that was supposed to be like it was going to be looking rough, but it looks like we know Gran Turismo got pushed out. God of War, based on the way Corey Barlog's talking, is out. Yeah. Forbidden West is rumored to be out. So what's going to be the big game that carry PlayStation in 2021 this year? Is it going to be the Deathloop or Ratchet and Clank? I mean, Ratchet and Clank is obviously they're.
Yeah, I mean, going off that Jim Ryan interview,
or is
it's Jim Ryan? He said that Forbidden West is still on schedule to come out this year.
All right,
but it's Jim Ryan, so
yeah. So because here's the thing, right? Because rumor has it, right, that in about 2 weeks or less than that, right, we're going to find out. Obviously, this whole Bethesda deal. The one thing that's been constant is that Starfield 2021 Xbox exclusive. So we went into January, right, 2021, knowing just Halo Infinite, right? But there's a possibility, right? And I'm not saying this is fact or anything, that Xbox can go through 2021 for the Series X with Halo Infinite, Starfield, the rumored Forza Horizon 5, and rumored Wolfenstein 3. If that's the case, that's an immediate turnaround, very solid. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I do believe Starfield and Halo. I don't know what else they surround it with, but I believe it's going to be Starfield and Halo is going to be the blockbusters that they close out the year with. I think Starfield October, Halo November to do the anniversary.
What is Starfield though? I
have no freaking idea. I have no idea what it is. I don't know. I'm just hoping whatever it is good, and that is up to par with the Skyrim and Fallout. Even like,
so it's supposed to be an RPG in space.
It's space RPG. Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So like Outer Worlds. Is that?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. We got nothing to work with. We got the logo and we got like the leaked screenshot of somebody walking on the moon.
Okay.
I mean, so who knows? We shall see. But I do want to give a shout out to the this Xbox Series S for getting 2 4K games announced with Outriders at 4K 60 and
That's
with the update to that game Mortal Shell 4K 30. Yeah. It's 30 frames per second, but it's 4K. I mean, I feel like they should have had an option. Like they should offer either a 1080 60 mode, 4K 30 mode. I'm pretty sure it could definitely do 60 frames per second. So I don't know what's really going on with that, but it is running. And these aren't like little 8-bit games or anything. They're natural games. So
that's impressive. That is
very impressive. So shout out to the Series S for that. Dre, I think we're about done.
Man. Oh, hold on. One quick thing, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Best Buy, man. You hit me up with the link for the Xbox Series X, man. I went to Best Buy on a website, had it, right there in the. I added it to the cart.
Yeah.
Soon as I add it, I get a big ass red
box.
Red box.
Yeah.
And so when I was waiting, and then I tried to refresh, and then it was gone.
Yeah, I had that problem. I had that same problem. So I've been trying to secure a second one, and the issue I had was like I got it in my cart, hit the checkout button, and it would literally say, "Oh, this one is not available for in your store to pick up." Right? And thank you. It would say it's not available in your store. So do not go to change my store, and it'll tell me not available within 250 miles of you. So I'm like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah. I had it in my cart literally when we were talking. It was in my cart for that entire hour of me clicking checkout. And I'm like, so then I started to get desperate. I went to like eBay, and I'm like, how reliable is this shit? Do I really want to spend $700 plus for it? I said no. Then I was like, let me check Home Shopping Network, and they're scalping the Series S for like $650. And then I went to Kmart. They got third-party sellers, and they're selling the Series X with these fake ass bundles for $1,000. And when I say fake ass bundles, they'll throw in Madden and a bunch of like the most cheapest accessories you can find. The accessories are so bad that they had PlayStation 4 headsets and third-party PlayStation 5 charging docks bundled with it, and they wanted like $1,000+ plus. I was like, yo, this is getting ridiculous. This is getting like,
y'all still got a Kmart?
I got a Kmart right across the street from my job.
Wow,
it's like the only Kmart in town. They won't. So many retailers offered to buy, so they can put a newer retailer there, and I guess they got the like. I guess a lease for that land for like mad cheap, and it was like, and they don't want to give it up because they're not going to find that rent no more. And this is an original Kmart. They still got posters from the original Xbox still up.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, man, I just think at this point I'm just going to wait until they can get some supply in stores.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm having no luck.
Yeah, this online shit is freaking garbage. Like, I can't believe there was the crazy thing is there was a chance that I could have literally missed out on day one because I was at work when the Xbox went live, right? And I was on my computer. Wait, I was on my job. Was I on my job computer and I was on my phone? Yeah, I had a couple things going. And my one of the big bosses was there, and he came to talk to me exactly at 11 o'clock. And I'm like, bro, and I'm sitting there trying to pay attention. I'm like, fucking like add it to the cart and shit. And it finally went through. It was like a 15-minute layover because it was like the site was crashing, and I managed to get it. And then after he finished talking to me, I ran over to GameStop just in case something happens with that pre-order to try to pre-order. I couldn't pre-order the Series X, but they said I was able to pre-order Series S if I did the bundle. Now their bundles weren't a ripoff because it was shit that they had to carry in the store. So it was Series S, I think Game Pass, extra controller, and the Steel Series headsets. And it was like, all right, cool. And I think I got it for like $500 for the Series S. But yeah, like if I would have missed out on that Series X one from like Microsoft.com because I couldn't do the wait in line at the store and shit like that because I had to work, I still to this day wouldn't have a Series X.
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna keep trying.
Absolutely, man. I will keep you posted. But sure. What's in the update? You're gonna be releasing. You're doing a channel, right?
So YouTube channel is coming. I posted the artwork that my brother did.
Yes, on
Twitter. So hopefully he's finishing that up. I pretty much got all my equipment. So just be on the lookout for that. That's coming hopefully soon. Well, I don't know because I'm in class for cybersecurity, so that's taking up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
So
priorities though. Priorities.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Definitely looking forward to it. As always, Dre, thank you for coming through, doing this show. We try to be here for you guys every Friday, 7:00 Eastern. And we will see you guys next week. Let us know what you want to see, what we need to do to improve. Anything in particular you want us to talk about. We're here. We're both on Twitter. Follow us up.
Sorry, cut you off.
Yep.
So I know I showed you did I send you? So we were talking off air about the timer, right?
Yeah. You did. I didn't get the opening.
Okay. So yeah, I've been looking into that, and I think that will work. So like if the chat, I'm sure you guys know, pardon the interruption with Mike Wilbon and that white dude.
Yeah.
And then they have the timers on how long their segments go. So that's what we're trying to get.
Yeah.
And I found something that I think will work like that, and hopefully that it can be on screen so you guys can see the timers.
We're looking at different ways to enhance it, but I definitely I gotta check that out that you sent. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, that share button. As always, Kid Smooth. Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Wish you guys have a good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We're out of here. Peace.
See y'all later. An hour and a half.